Hey everyone, before we get started, make sure to follow SkyAlert USA so you don't miss this video or any of our future updates.
And, if you want to support us, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. It really helps us keep bringing you these important weather alerts.
Weather emergency alert. Polar vortex collapse brings historic winter conditions to USA and Canada, February 3, 2026. Welcome to SkyAlert USA, your trusted source for critical weather updates across North America.
Today, February 3rd, 2026, we bring you an urgent weather bulletin as the United States and Canada face one of the most significant winter weather events in recent history.
Breaking. Stratospheric warming event. Triggers polar vortex collapse. A confirmed stratospheric warming event is currently unfolding over North America, causing a complete collapse of the polar vortex. This rare meteorological phenomenon is driving Arctic air masses deep into the continental United States and Canada, creating dangerous and potentially life-threatening conditions for millions of residents across both nations. Meteorologists are calling this event potentially historic, with impacts that could extend well into March 2026. The polar vortex split has created a blocking high-pressure system over Greenland and the polar regions, forcing frigid Arctic air southward across virtually the entire North American continent. Current conditions across the United States. As of this morning, February 3, 2026, extreme cold weather warnings and freeze warnings remain in effect across much of Florida, southern Georgia, southern Alabama, portions of the Carolinas, and southeastern Louisiana. This represents an extraordinary southward penetration of Arctic air, with temperatures dropping to levels rarely seen in these regions. The eastern United States continues to experience temperatures 30 degrees Fahrenheit below normal for this time of year. Cities from the Great Lakes through the Ohio Valley and into the southeast are struggling under the grip of this persistent cold pattern. Wind chill values in some areas of the northern plains and upper Midwest have plummeted below -40 degrees Fahrenheit, creating extreme danger for anyone exposed to the elements.
The National Weather Service has confirmed that over half of the contiguous United States remains covered by snow following the recent succession of winter storms. This extensive snow cover is contributing to the persistence of cold temperatures, as the white blanket reflects solar radiation back into space, preventing any meaningful warming during daylight hours.
Recent winter storm impacts. Winter Storm Fern. The late January winter storm, unofficially named Winter Storm Fern, has left a devastating mark across North America. This massive system affected an area spanning nearly 2,000 miles, from northern Mexico through the southern and northeastern United States and into Canada. The storm produced a catastrophic mix of heavy snow, dangerous freezing rain, and life-threatening ice accumulations.
The human toll has been significant, with multiple fatalities reported across several states. Deaths have been confirmed in Louisiana due to carbon monoxide poisoning and oxygen concentrator failures during widespread power outages. Mississippi reported fatalities, including a 73-year-old man killed when a tree fell on his mobile home. In North Carolina, a 31-year-old man died from hypothermia-related causes. South Carolina also confirmed cold-related deaths in Greenwood and Lawrence counties.
Power outages affected over 1 million customers at the peak of the storm, with hundreds of thousands still without electricity days later. In Louisiana alone, over 51,000 customers remained without power, with full restoration not expected until February 5th due to high winds causing additional repair delays. Mississippi saw nearly 300,000 customers lose power due to the severe ice storm.
Transportation infrastructure suffered massive disruptions. Nashville, Tennessee, set a new precipitation record on January 24th with nearly 2 inches of precipitation, much of it freezing rain, leading to what officials called the worst ice storm in decades for the region. Over 400 traffic accidents were reported in North Carolina during the storm, with portions of Interstate 26 and Interstate 85 closing completely.
A 17-year-old driver died in Iowa, and 2 adults were injured when winter weather caused a loss of vehicle control.
The Federal Communications Commission activated its disaster information reporting system as the storm affected at least 9 radio stations across the country, predominantly in the south. The FCC granted special temporary authority for citizens band radio users, recognizing the critical need for emergency communications.
Continuing winter weather threat. The weather emergency is far from over. A series of Alberta clippers is currently spreading light snow across the Great Lakes region, with periods of light snow and wintry mix expected across the northern plains for the next several days. These fast-moving systems, while individually not as intense as Winter Storm Fern, are adding to the already substantial snowpack and maintaining dangerous travel conditions.
A frontal wave is forecast to bring increasing chances of showers and embedded thunderstorms across the south on Tuesday, February 4th, with light snow spreading across the Ohio Valley. This system will then move east into the mid-Atlantic region Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, potentially impacting the Tuesday evening rush hour from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia.
Forecasters are predicting 1 to 3 inches of snow from Cincinnati eastward, with probabilities for at least 4 inches of snow, ranging from 30 to 40% at elevations above 3,000 feet. The Winter Storm Severity Index issued by NOAA for the next 3 days shows extensive coverage of winter weather across the northern and eastern United States. The strongest impacts are expected in the east, specifically over Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, where major to extreme impacts are predicted over large portions of the Carolinas. This represents another significant threat to regions still recovering from the previous storm.
Canada facing relentless winter assault. Our neighbors to the north are experiencing equally challenging conditions. Atlantic Canada has been pummeled by its third nor'easter in 3 weeks, forcing widespread school and service closures and dumping more than 20 centimeters of heavy wet snow on St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Environment Canada issued orange-level winter storm warnings for eastern Newfoundland, with the Avalon and Burin peninsulas expecting between 35 and 50 centimeters of snow by Tuesday.
Wind gusts of up to 100 kilometers per hour are creating poor visibility and extremely dangerous travel conditions. The cold temperatures mean this snow is light and fine, easily picked up by strong winds to create hazardous blowing snow conditions. Toronto experienced record-breaking snowfall, with Pearson Airport recording 46 centimeters of snow on January 26th, the highest daily snowfall on record at that location. This brought Toronto's January snowfall total to 88.2 centimeters, making it the snowiest January and snowiest month since records began in 1937. The Greater Toronto Area, along with many other regions in southern Ontario, declared snow days as the storm dumped up to 60 centimeters of snow.
What makes this Canadian winter weather particularly concerning is the persistent cold. Unlike typical southern Ontario weather patterns where warming temperatures a few days after heavy snowfall cause melting, meteorologists confirm that cold temperatures will keep the snow on the ground for an extended period. Long-range forecasts into mid-February predict Ontario temperatures will remain colder than normal, meaning accumulated snow will persist.
Montreal continues under snowfall warnings, with some schools announcing weather-related closures. The city is dealing with intense cold that has slowed power restoration for thousands of customers. Quebec has seen significant accumulations, and eastern Ontario experienced continued snowfall through Monday morning.
Nova Scotia and New Brunswick are bracing for additional snowfall between 20 and 30 centimeters, with snowfall and wind gust warnings active for parts of southern New Brunswick and most of Nova Scotia. Wind gusts of up to 70 kilometers per hour along the Atlantic coast are reducing visibility as strong winds blow snow across open areas.
The prairie provinces continue to endure bitter cold and blizzard conditions. Alberta clippers are bringing whiteouts and dangerous travel conditions across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Arctic air masses dominate these regions, creating dangerous wind chills and prolonged deep freezes that pose serious threats to anyone who must venture outdoors.
Forecast for the next 3 days, February 4th through 6th, 2026. Wednesday, February 4th will see the continuation of extreme cold across the eastern United States. The frontal system moving through the South and Mid-Atlantic will create travel hazards, particularly during evening rush hour on Tuesday into Wednesday morning. Snow accumulations of 1 to 3 inches are likely from the Ohio Valley into the Mid-Atlantic, with higher amounts possible in elevated areas. Alberta clippers will continue to produce light snow showers across the Great Lakes and light snow or wintry mix across portions of the northern plains. Wind chill values will remain dangerously low across the northern tier of states, with the National Weather Service maintaining cold weather advisories and warnings. Thursday, February 5th through Friday, February 6th, will bring renewed surges of Arctic air to the East Coast by the weekend. The Weather Prediction Center is forecasting an impressive stretch of cold weather to continue, with below-average temperatures persisting across a large portion of the eastern United States. Widespread snow cover will continue to limit daytime high temperatures, maintaining the deep freeze.
The western United States will continue to see mild conditions and a lack of significant rain or snow for most areas, with drought conditions worsening in many regions. The exception will be across Washington and western Oregon, where sufficient onshore flow should bring periods of showers and mountain snow late Friday into the weekend, as deeper Pacific moisture moves inland. In Canada, the winter storm currently affecting Atlantic Canada will continue through Tuesday, with snowfall expected to last into Tuesday in Nova Scotia, bringing 30 centimeters or more to some parts of the province. Environment Canada warns that wind gusts along the coast will create reduced visibility and dangerous conditions. Ontario and Quebec will see frigid temperatures persist, with the snow that fell during the record-breaking late January storm remaining on the ground due to the continued cold pattern. The prairie provinces will continue to experience bitter cold, with Arctic air masses maintaining the grip on the region.
So, folks, that's the setup for the next few days. Bundle up, stay safe, and keep an eye on those advisories.
Critical safety information and warnings. The current weather situation demands that all residents across affected areas take immediate precautions to protect life and property. The extreme cold poses multiple serious threats that require vigilant attention. Hypothermia and frostbite can occur within minutes of exposure to the current conditions in many areas. If you must go outside, dress in multiple layers, cover all exposed skin, and limit time outdoors to the absolute minimum necessary.
Watch for signs of hypothermia, including shivering, exhaustion, confusion, fumbling hands, memory loss, slurred speech, and drowsiness. Frostbite symptoms include numbness, white or grayish-yellow skin, and unusually firm or waxy-feeling skin.
Carbon monoxide poisoning is a serious risk during power outages and extreme cold events. Never use generators, grills, camp stoves, or other gasoline, propane, natural gas, or charcoal burning devices inside your home, basement, garage, or near windows. Carbon monoxide is an odorless, colorless gas that can kill without warning. Ensure you have working carbon monoxide detectors in your home.
Home fires increase during extreme cold weather as people use alternative heating sources. If using space heaters, keep them at least 3 feet away from anything that can burn, including curtains, furniture, and bedding. Never leave space heaters unattended or running while you sleep. Ensure your smoke detectors have fresh batteries and are functioning properly.
Avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. If you must travel, prepare an emergency kit for your vehicle, including blankets, food, water, first aid supplies, flashlight, phone charger, and sand or cat litter for traction. Keep your gas tank at least half full to prevent fuel line freeze-up. Inform someone of your route and expected arrival time.
Check on neighbors, especially older adults, people with disabilities, and those without access to shelter. The combination of extreme cold, power outages, and snow accumulation creates particularly dangerous conditions for vulnerable populations. Even a brief check-in call can save lives.
Protect your pets and livestock. Animals can suffer from frostbite and hypothermia just like humans. Bring pets indoors whenever possible. Livestock should have access to shelter, unfrozen water, and adequate food to maintain body heat.
Prevent pipe freezing by keeping your home heated to at least 55 degrees Fahrenheit even if you're away. Open cabinet doors to allow warm air to circulate around plumbing. Let faucets drip slowly to prevent freezing in vulnerable pipes. Know where your main water shutoff valve is located in case pipes burst.
Stay informed through multiple sources. Sign up for emergency alerts through your local National Weather Service office. Download the FEMA mobile app to receive real-time information about your area. Check wireless emergency alert settings on your phone. Monitor local news and official government sources for the latest information specific to your location.
Folks, these steps might seem like a lot, but they really could make all the difference. Stay safe out there and look out for one another.
The current weather pattern represents one of the most significant winter weather events to affect North America in recent years. The stratospheric warming event and resulting polar vortex collapse create conditions that meteorologists describe as having potentially historic impact.
Stratospheric warming events occur when the stratospheric polar vortex, a large area of low pressure and cold air surrounding the poles, experiences rapid warming. This warming can cause the vortex to weaken, distort, or split completely.
When this happens, the weakened or displaced vortex allows Arctic air to spill southward into mid-latitude regions that typically experience more moderate winter conditions. The current event has split the polar vortex, creating multiple lobes of cold air that are affecting different regions.
This split configuration is particularly concerning because it can persist for weeks, maintaining cold and stormy conditions across large areas.
The blocking high-pressure system over Greenland and the polar regions prevents the normal west-to-east flow of weather systems, instead forcing cold air southward in a meridional flow pattern.
Previous stratospheric warming events have produced memorable winter weather impacts.
The event occurring in February 2026 shows many similarities to past significant events, with widespread cold, multiple storm systems, and extended duration.
The difference this year is the exceptionally strong and persistent nature of the disturbance, combined with its timing during a transition from La Niña to ENSO neutral conditions, which allows high-latitude atmospheric dynamics to dominate weather patterns.
The economic costs of this extended winter weather event are mounting rapidly.
Power restoration efforts in Louisiana, Mississippi, and other affected states involve thousands of utility workers and specialized equipment. The delay in full power restoration due to continued harsh weather compounds both the human suffering and financial burden.
Transportation disruptions have affected commerce across the continent. Hundreds of flight cancellations, closed highways, and dangerous road conditions have impacted supply chains, delivery schedules, and business operations.
Schools and universities across multiple states and provinces have been closed for extended periods, affecting millions of students and requiring adjustments to academic calendars.
Agricultural impacts are significant, particularly in regions where cold has penetrated unusually far south. Livestock operations face challenges providing adequate shelter and water.
Early spring crops in southern states may suffer damage from the unexpected cold.
The extended snow cover in northern regions will affect spring planting preparations.
Emergency response costs are substantial, including snow removal operations, warming center operations, enhanced outreach to vulnerable populations, and deployment of specialized equipment and personnel to affected areas. President Trump approved 12 emergency declarations, allowing states to request federal expertise and resources to protect lives and property. While individual weather events cannot be directly attributed to climate change, the broader context of changing atmospheric patterns warrants discussion.
Stratospheric warming events have been observed to potentially increase in frequency as Arctic regions warm at rates faster than mid-latitudes, a phenomenon known as Arctic amplification.
The La Niña pattern that influenced weather across North America during late 2025 and early 2026 is dissolving rapidly, marking a significant atmospheric and oceanic shift.
This transition to ENSO-neutral conditions changes the background state of the atmosphere, allowing different types of weather patterns to establish themselves.
The extensive drought conditions developing across portions of the western United States despite the active winter pattern in the east highlight the complex regional variations in weather patterns.
While the eastern half of the continent struggles with excessive cold and snow, western regions face critically dry conditions that exacerbate wildfire risks and water supply concerns.
Northeast United States, including New York, Boston, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C., will continue to experience well below normal temperatures through the extended forecast period.
Additional light to moderate snow events are likely, particularly Tuesday night into Wednesday.
The persistent snow cover will keep daytime high temperatures suppressed, with many areas struggling to reach freezing even during peak afternoon hours.
Residents should prepare for winter conditions to persist well into February with little relief expected.
Southeast United States, including Atlanta, Charlotte, and areas of the Carolinas, face the unusual combination of lingering cold and additional winter weather threats. The region, still recovering from the devastating impacts of Winter Storm Fern, now faces another round of winter weather with the approaching system. Temperatures well below normal for the region will persist, with hard freezes likely continuing to affect areas far south of typical freeze lines.
Great Lakes region, including Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, and Milwaukee, will see a classic Arctic feed pattern with frequent sub-freezing days. Lake effect snow will add to accumulations downwind of the lakes. Travel conditions will remain challenging, with multiple light to moderate snow events expected. Minneapolis and other upper Midwest locations will experience single-digit temperatures above or below zero, with dangerous wind chills during the coldest periods.
Central Plains, including Kansas City, Omaha, and Denver, will experience the seesaw temperature pattern typical of disrupted vortex setups. Sharp cold will follow fast-moving Clipper systems, then brief moderation before the next push of Arctic air arrives. Travel impacts may be worse than raw temperatures suggest due to rapid changes in visibility and road conditions during snowbursts.
Southern United States, including Dallas, Houston, Nashville, and Memphis, will remain surprisingly chilly behind the late January and early February storm cycle. Freezes are possible well south of usual lines in postfrontal air masses. The extended cold period is unusual for these regions and will test infrastructure and resources not typically challenged by sustained winter conditions.
Though Pacific Northwest areas including Seattle and Portland will experience periodic wet weather, the persistent ridge over the west maintains dry conditions that are worsening drought across California and the desert Southwest. This pattern, contrast with the active east, is stark and concerning for water resources. Eastern Canada, including Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, and Quebec City, will see the record snow accumulations persist as cold temperatures prevent melting. Additional light to moderate snow events are likely. The extended cold pattern means snow will remain on the ground well into February, creating ongoing challenges for snow removal, transportation, and daily activities. Atlantic Canada, including Halifax, St. John's, Fredericton, and Charlottetown, continue to face relentless winter storm activity. The current storm affecting the region is the third major nor'easter in 3 weeks. Additional storms are likely as the disrupted pattern persists. Residents must remain vigilant for rapidly changing conditions and prepare for continued winter weather impacts. Western United States, including Los Angeles, San Francisco, Phoenix, and Las Vegas, will generally see mild conditions continue.
Prairie provinces including Calgary, Edmonton, Regina, Saskatoon, and Winnipeg will continue to endure bitter cold